Hello, Steve White's 89. Well, I have been trying to get through my sci-fi movies. I've had a bunch that I've been hoarding for ages, a lot of vintage, retro sci-fi movies, and I just wanted to get some of them watched and just get started. And I've got a whole bunch of black and white ones I'm getting to later, but I sort of picked out sort of the colour ones I sort of heard the most about, or I just really wanted to watch. Destination Moon, Flight to Mars, and This Island Earth. I've heard about them, and I bought them all in the retro sci-fi collection of DVDs years ago and never had the time to watch them. Well, I finally sat down and watched them. Now, I was also going to watch a film called Project Moonbase, but it was actually black and white, so I don't know how that got in with the others. But so it ended up just being a 3-film marathon, and it was really great. Now, the first film was so much fun. Basically, these guys build a rocket to go to the moon because they have to get there ahead of their political enemies, and there's a fair amount of talk of politics and having to get fundraising, and they actually use a Woody Woodpecker cartoon to sell these guys on funding them, and then of course the local government wants to shut them down because they think it's too dangerous, and they end up just doing it anyway and just ignoring them, and it's a lot of fun. They're wearing these different coloured space suits so they can tell them apart, and command ranks and everything. I guess that's where Gene Roddenberry got it from. They have this really great scene where, I mean, they shoot off in the rocket, and you see that their faces stretch, and then they're just floating around, and it's all fairly well done. They go out on the ship to do some repairs, and they walk out on the underside upside down. It's just like the scene in First Contact, and then they walk around and on the top and again, and then they end up on the planet, and then they have to lighten their load to get back, and they nearly leave a man behind, but they manage to actually find a way to basically leave all their equipment and their uniforms behind in order to have the weight right to get home, and they make it home, and it was just fun. It was just really fun. I think the best thing about these films is they because science was, they just having fun. There's fantasy, and I really wish, I think someone would make a modern film like this where they just want to have an adventure and they don't actually care about current day politics or technology, and it's just, let's just go to the moon, let's just find aliens, let's just go to Mars. There's just a lot of fun about these old science fiction films. Now, the second film, Flight to Mars, is really interesting. Basically, these guys just fly to Mars in a ship, and they're not wearing spacesuits or anything. They get off, you can breathe on Mars, they just walk out, they start talking to aliens who just look like us, and they're just like our society. They're basically walking around, we're greeting them in basically like pilot outfits like you'd wear on like the old war bombers and stuff, and it's really surreal, and the Martian fashion is awesome. They're just wearing these little, the women are all in mini skirts, and the men have these sort of long black leather jackets which have like these side, they do up on the side, and they've got the little collars, and they got like tights underneath, and or leggings and high black boots, and they just have this look about them. And basically the Martians need help. They want to help us repair our shuttle so we can help them travel, because they need, I'm not going to go into the whole plot and story on that, but basically they don't trust us to help them, so they decide to basically wait for us to repair the spaceship, and then they're going to steal it and use it. We catch wind of that because one of the Martians actually falls in love with one of the men and wants to leave with them, and basically they pretend like the repairs are going to take longer so they can escape, and they do. The end, it was a lot of fun. The costumes were very, very cute, very sexy, and I just am really enjoying these old sci-fi films that they're just fun. They're not concerned with, real science or anything. And some of the science fiction films today were, and they're very interesting and very good as well. But these are just as much fun for what they don't care about. Now, the third film was very jarring. This Island Earth, the first 10 minutes is interesting. There's a pilot who he's had problems with his plane, and some beam zaps him and turns his plane green and lands it for him, basically. And then aliens start to contact him, and they take him to this secret base, and it's just like a mansion, and they're having dinners. It's really boring. I'm like, when do we get to space? Where are the aliens? Where are the spaceships? Where are the spacesuits? there's about a good 40 minutes of like, I'm giving up on this film. Clearly they're not going anywhere, not doing anything. And then they try and escape, and they get chased by the spaceship. And they get beamed up by the spaceship, basically in a green ray. This is about an hour in, and then it gets good, because the aliens need our help because their planet is dying, and they take us to their planet, and on the way they get attacked by asteroids that are being used as missiles, basically, and just the whole scenario, the whole ship, the sets, the immersion that the humans have, it's just really fun and really great. The aliens, who just have slightly elongated heads and slightly darker skin and really white hair, are fairly subtle, but unfortunately when we get to their planet, which looks fairly good, they've done some good job with miniatures and that, but then also some very painted matte sets and so forth, but an interesting combination of both at different times. Basically they're too late, we can't save them, and the best they can do is help us escape, because the very handsome, I forgot to mention, very handsome pilot that they basically take was also accompanied by a very attractive woman, very 1950s Liz Taylor sort of look, and the best they can do is basically help them escape, and they're now like a couple and everything. So there's the romance and everything. It's a really fun film. At the end, it had this really bad stretch of 40 minutes. I'm like, okay, the character work between the main characters is interesting. The main guy is very handsome, but it's really dry and boring. But then once they get on the ship, it's just full-on 1950s science fiction the whole way. And they even have an alien on the planet who's basically like a servant race. And they have these big giant heads and this whole outfit that they've made, the costume they've made. It's really quite remarkable, totally ridiculous, but also quite remarkable at the same time. And it was a lot of fun. Yeah, I love these old films. They're so much fun. And I get taking science fiction seriously and having to make that believable and being able to believe in that and buy into it. But on the other end, once you let all that go and just want to have fun with these films, they are so amazing. I'm going to get back to it because I've got a whole bunch more to watch. Most of them black and white though. I can watch black and white films, but I really like the colour ones, especially the Technicolor ones. But I'm going to get back to them. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of Destination Moon, Flight to Mars, or This Island Earth, if you've seen them. If you haven't, I would, but you could probably skip like from about 10 minutes in to about 50 minutes in of This Island Earth. But the rest of it is really great. I'm going to go.